The MLB season has just started, and I thought I had to make a special video. So today I will be bringing you my top 50 players going into this upcoming MLB season. I took a lot of things into account here, but one common feature that I did not take into account was WAR. I understand that a lot of people think WAR is a really, really important stat in the game of baseball, but I'm just not one of those people. I guess I think it is important, but I think there are other things that you can definitely take into account, and WAR just doesn't show everything. So, without further ado, let's hop right into the top 50. To start off the list, we'll be talking about Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo. I got him at number 50. Anthony Rizzo is definitely not the most exciting player, but he's really, really good. He's going to give you 25 homers, 95 RBIs, and he's going to hit you in the high 200s, maybe even the 300s on a normal season. And he's going to give you platinum defense at first base. Anthony Rizzo, super underrated, very, very good. Coming in at the number 49 spot, I have Anthony Rizzo's former teammate, Yu Darvish. Darvish is the definition of hit or miss, and he hit in 2020. He finished second in the Cy Young voting, led the MLB in wins, and had an ERA just above 2 at 2.01. But when Darvish is out there, he throws absolute junk, his pitches are dirty, and the Padres made a great choice to go and get Yu Darvish. For the number 48 spot, I'm going to give it to Tim Anderson. Wow, Tim Anderson is really good, and not enough people talk about him. He was an MVP candidate this year and won the batting title last year. He's going to steal you bases and has a good OPS at 886, and just has that flair and excitement. Tim Anderson is great for the game of baseball and is a key part to the Chicago White Sox team. The 47th best player in baseball for me is Michael Brantley. Another one of these super underrated players, but all Michael Brantley does is rake, and then he goes out and plays stellar defense. He's going to bat you 300, going to hit a bunch of doubles, and consistently have an 800 plus OPS. He was an All-Star 3 straight years in 17, 18, and 19, and it cannot go unnoticed. Michael Brantley is just way too good to leave off the list. I hate to say it, but Jeff McNeil is really, really good, and he's well deserving of the top 50. His entire career, he's been a 300 hitter, and his 162 game averages show you that he can hit over 25 home runs and 100 RBIs. The only problem is we haven't seen a full season from him yet, but there's no reason to punish him for that. Jeff McNeil has been casually one of the best players in baseball since he came up. At the number 45 spot, I have a familiar face in Houston Astros shortstop Carlos Correa. And I know, trash cans. But he is so good and has potential to unlock another level. He's going to do anything at the plate, whether it's home runs or driving in runs, he's going to do it. Not to mention, he's unbelievable defensively and has one of the best arms in the game. Correa is an absolute beast. Fourth spot, I've got 1/3 of the three-headed monster in that Los Angeles Dodgers pitching staff, and it's Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler in 2018 almost won Rookie of the Year. He finished third. In 2019, he took his game to another level. He led the league in win-loss percentage, was an all-star, and finished ninth in the Cy Young Award voting. Walker Buehler is really good. Three spot, I've got an MVP candidate from 2019. John Marte had a really, really good 2019 season, but in 2020 it just wasn't the same. But like I said, I'm taking 2020 with a grain of salt. But in 2019, he headed 329. He finished with a 981 OPS for a second baseman / center fielder. It's really, really good. 32 home runs, 92 RBIs. I don't think you can put him down for his 2020 season. At the number 42 spot, representing Jackie Robinson, I've got Atlanta Braves second baseman Ozzy Albies. Ozzy Albies does not get talked about enough, but he is so good. I don't understand why people don't talk about him. He's a former Silver Slugger, All-Star, and he's really good defensively. He's not the most exciting, but he is one of the best. Up next, at the 41 spot, I've got Marcelo Zuna, a teammate of Ozzy Albies. Marcelo Zuna was not very good with St. Louis, but near the end of his time with Miami, and since he's came to Atlanta, he has been raking. Last year, he batted .338 with a 1,067 OPS. He had 18 home runs and 56 RBIs, both led the National Leagues, and he finished 6th in MVP and won a Silver Slugger. At the number 40 spot, I've got Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman. Well, now actually, I think he's the shortstop of the Cincinnati Reds. And we all know what he did in 2019. He had 49 home runs and 103 RBIs. A really great season from him. 2020 was bad, but in 2018, he made the All-Star game too. Eugenio Suarez has been really good. At the 39 spot, I've got White Sox catcher Yasmani Grandal. I don't love Yasmani Grandal. I don't love his stats either, but you have to remember that he is a catcher. So a 240 batting average and a 794 OPS doesn't sound amazing, but he's a catcher and he plays great defense behind the plate too. He's a two-time All-Star and one of the best catchers in baseball. The 38th best player in baseball. Ooh, this will be a fun one. One of the most controversial players in baseball, Trevor Bauer. He was recently acquired by the Dodgers, and in Cincinnati last year, he was amazing. He was a Cy Young Award winner and just an absolute beast. He made an All-Star game in 2018, and, well, he made Jose Abreu look like this. Yeah. Finally, a good playoff pitcher, Clayton Kershaw, comes in at number 37. Kershaw is a three-time Cy Young Award winner and has finished in the top 10 like over 7 times. He's won an MVP and has also been in the MVP running a few times. A Gold Glover even. Multiple time All-Star. He's led the league in countless categories, countless times. ERA. He's got a career ERA of 2.44. Just an absolute beast. And a World Series champion now. At the number 36 spot, I've got another really underrated player in Paul Goldschmidt. I don't know why people stop talking about Paul Goldschmidt, but he's still so good. He's going to bat right in the middle of that Cardinals lineup. He's been an All-Star like 6 times. He's been an MVP candidate, great in the field. He's got a high OPS, high slugging. He's going to walk a lot, get a bunch of home runs, get a bunch of RBIs, 36 and 25 to be exact right there. Paul Goldschmidt is extremely good. At number 35, the little engine that could, the little buzzer that helped. No, all serious though, I've got Jose Altuve, the second baseman for the Houston Astros. Altuve had a bad 2020 and the whole cheating scandal, but Jose Altuve is still really good. There's no denying it. He won an MVP in 2017 and has always just been able to mash baseballs at 5'6" and has played great defensively. There's no reason for him not to be here. Coming in at number 34, I've got JD Martinez, the DH for the Boston Red Sox. And obviously, he's not going to do anything good for you defensively, considering he's a DH. But his stats are unbelievable. He's going to hit you 291 from at the plate. He's going to get you 34 home runs, 108 RBIs with an 886 OPS, which could be a little bit better. But we've seen at a 4 or 5 year stretch, he's had a 1,000 OPS. He's just mashes, absolutely mashes. With back-to-back DHs, I've got Nelson Cruz of the Minnesota Twins coming in at 33. Nelson Cruz is another one of these guys who he plays the DH position perfectly. He's going to hit you 39 home runs, 107 RBIs, bat in the high 200s, and finish with an 800 OPS. In 2020, he had a 992 OPS. In 2019, he had a 1,031 OPS. And he's finished top 10 in MVP voting back-to-back years. He's won multiple Silver Sluggers and has been to several All-Star games. Coming in at the number 32 spot, I've got another New York Met. I've got Michael Conforto. And just recently, he had a controversial hit by pitch call that ended up being a walk-off, but I don't really care about that, to be honest with you. He's going to give you a mid-batting average, but his OPS is going to be high. He's going to get some home runs. He's going to put up 30. He's going to put up 88 RBIs. His defense has always been solid. All-Star in 2017. I don't think that can go overlooked. And his OPS is always well over the league average. Mr. World Series MVP. I've got Corey Seeger at number 31. I told you how I wasn't going to take 2020 too seriously, but we know how good Corey Seager has been previously. In 2016, 2017, he was an All-Star. He won Rookie of the Year. He was third in MVP. He finished ninth in MVP this year in 2020. Career 297 hitter, 26 home runs, 93 RBIs in a season. Corey Seager, always going to have an OPS way above average. Okay, what is happening? The Hyunjin Ryu disrespect needs to stop. Hyunjin Ryu is one of the most underrated players in baseball. I don't understand why he's so underrated. Just look at his stats. He's so good. Whenever he's out there on the mound, he just goes out and shoves. For the past 3 years, he's had an ERA above 3 every year. He's always been a guy who's going to get you wins, and he's just crazy, crazy good. At 29, I've got the AL MVP, Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox. So, as I just said, he was the MVP last year. He was amazing. He led baseball in RBIs. He led the AL in hits. He played all 60 games. He had 19 home runs, which was up there, 317 batting average, 987 OPS, 148 total bases. He's a Silver Slugger. He's made multiple All-Star games, been in MVP race a bunch of times, a Rookie of the Year, and he's never injured, so you can always depend on him to be in the field. At number 28, give me Matt Chapman of the Oakland Athletics. Now, this is probably pretty low for a lot of people, but personally, Matt Chapman's offensive numbers just don't impress me. His defense is absolutely unbelievable. He's won Platinum Glove multiple times, a two-time Gold Glove winner. He was an All-Star. He was in MVP race in 2019 and 2018, but he is so good. All right, back at it, nearly halfway there. Coming in at number 27, I have Javi Baez. And although he can be a bit extra, there's no denying how good he is. He's unbelievable in the field. You can't get anything by him. He's got so much power at the shortstop position. He's going to have a pretty high batting average, and he's always going to be getting you RBIs. He's one of the most exciting players to watch, and he's going to get paid this offseason. I don't know if it'll be the Cubs, but it's going to be a lot of money. The second of two catchers, I've got JT Realmuto at 26. There's no denying that JT Realmuto is the best catcher in baseball. He's got amazing defense behind the plate. He's super athletic back there, and he always rakes. In the past few years, he's had a 266, 275, and 277 batting average, which for a catcher is amazing. He's always going to get you a pretty good amount of RBIs and a decent amount of home runs, but for a catcher, that's really amazing numbers. Officially at the halfway point, representing the number 25, I've got Trey Turner, the burner. Trey Turner is extremely fast. I'll just start off with that. Probably the fastest player in baseball. And his batting average is always going to be high, around 296 every year, along with an 836 OPS for a shortstop. He's going to get you 51 stolen bases a year. Home runs, always going to be pretty high for a shortstop, about 23 if he plays a full season, 77 RBIs, and surprisingly enough, has never been an all-star. Back-to-back shortstops here. Coming in at number 24, I've got the one for the Boston Red Sox, Xander Bogaerts. Also, we got better audio now. Anyway, ever since 2016, Xander Bogaerts has casually been one of the best shortstops in baseball. On a 162-game average, he's going to give you 290 batting average, 88 ribbies on 19 home runs, 40 doubles, 182 hits, and just 626 at-bats. He's finished in the MVP race 3 times now, 2-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger. Seriously, this guy's a beast. I'm going to start off with this. If you look at Bryce Harper's baseball reference page, the amount of bolded and italicized categories is just absolutely insane. I mean, people say he's not worth the $300 million, but I think he's absolutely worth it. 270 batting average and 902 OPS every year, which is absolutely dirty. 33 home runs, 95 RBIs, and 104 walks is a lot. Simply put, Bryce Harper is not human. Next up, we've got a former teammate of of Bryce Harper's, Max Scherzer. And Max Scherzer did not have a great 2020, but his numbers from 2013 to 2019 are ridiculous. An all-star every single one of those years. Led the league in wins 4 times. He has led the league in so many different categories, such as innings pitched, complete games, shutouts, games started. His strikeouts have always been up there. He's going to have an ERA hovering around 3, which isn't amazing, but very good, and a whip around just 1. So, a 3-time Cy Young Award winner and a beast. An outfielder for the Toronto Blue Jays, newly acquired George Springer. George Springer has been so good the past 4 years. He's had 3 All-Stars, 3 times in the MVP race. two-time Silver Slugger. He's going to have a batting average around 270. He can get you 35 home runs, 93 RBIs, along with 10 stolen bases a year, which is pretty solid, 170 hits, and an 852 OPS, while playing stellar defense out in center field. Kicking off the top 20 with a bang, I've got Aaron Judge coming up next. Now, we know how good he can be. In 2017, he had 52 home runs, 114 RBIs, 128 runs, 127 walks, 284 average, and a 1,049 slugging. As a rookie and almost won MVP, he came second. But it's been a matter of whether he can stay on the field or not, because when he's on the field, he's an absolute beast. He can get you 45 home runs, 102 RBIs, and a 272 batting average with a 945 OPS based on 162 game averages. And with great defense, it's only injuries holding him back. Up next, I've got Aaron Judge's teammate, DJ LeMahieu, at number 19. Now, it's no wonder why they call him the Machine. He's just a beast at the plate. He goes up there and hits. And the way he hits the ball is insane. He'll hit the ball all over the field and had a power surge since coming to the Yankees. He's casually been an MVP candidate the past 2 years and led the league in batting average in 2020 and also the American League in on-base percentage, OPS, and OPS+. He's pretty good defensively and versatile, meaning that he can play first, second, and third if you need him to. Up next, I've got Alex Bregman. Unfortunately, he had a down year in 2020 after the whole cheating scandal, but I think he's still one of the best players. A two-time All-Star, he almost won an MVP. He's led the league in walks and doubles. He can bat you 284 with 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. He's going to have a 901 OPS, 142 OPS plus, and he's had a Silver Slugger. The man is unbelievable defensively, and you can just see it when he's out here. He's so good. Another third baseman at number 17, I've got Manny Machado from the San Diego Padres. Surprisingly, Manny Machado has only been an All-Star 4 times, but he's also been an MVP candidate 4 times. He's a 2-time Gold Glover, and he's won a Silver Slugger. He can give you 34 doubles along with 31 home runs, 91 RBIs on a 279 batting average and an 823 OPS. Those are some really good offensive numbers. And I already mentioned that he was a 2-time Gold Glover, but he is so much more than that. His defense is one of the best that we may have ever seen at the third baseman spot, and is certainly one of the best in the league right now. Coming in at 17, we've got our third straight third baseman, but Jose Ramirez is one of the most underrated players in baseball. He absolutely deserves to be up here. He probably should be in the top 15, considering he can give you a 280 batting average. He can give you 25 home runs, 85 RBIs, and an 849 slugging, and 123 OPS. He's been a top 3 in MVP candidates 3 times. He's only been a 2-time All-Star, which once again is surprising. He's also a Silver Slugger. He's going to get you a bunch of doubles, a bunch of runs, and he's also pretty decent defensively. Next up, I've got Trevor Story. He's probably going to get traded soon, though, because, the Rockies are really bad. But let's talk about him. He's a 2-time All-Star, which, again, is surprising. He was in the Rookie of the Year race, which is good. He's also been an MVP candidate. He's been in the top 11 or 12, which is pretty good. It's really good. 2-time Silver Slugger. He can strike out a bit, but that's not terrible. He's gotten better at it for sure. A 289 batting average in 2020, which was really good, and he's career 277. He can give you 35 home runs and 100 RBIs in a season, which is amazing if he plays a full season. 872 OPS is really, really good, and so is 114 OPS plus. And his defense, not to mention, is very, very good out there. At number 14, I've got the AL Cy Young Award winner, Shane Bieber. In 2020, he was 8-1 with a 1.63 ERA, led the league in strikeouts, led the league in ERA, 207 FIP, led the league, 5.4 hits per 9, led the league, 14.2 strikeouts per 9, led the league, and he was 4th in MVP as a pitcher. That's just unbelievable. He was an All-Star in 2019, would have obviously been in 2020, and already in 2021, he's leading the league in strikeouts. The fact that he's only been in the league for 3 years is quite honestly ridiculous. Shane Bieber is absolutely nasty. He holds a bunch of records, and he's just so good. There's just not much else to say. Up next, we've got arguably the new face of baseball, Fernando Tatis Jr. Tatis exploded in 2020, and it didn't really surprise me, but it did surprise a lot of people. If it weren't for the fact that he hasn't played a full season yet, he would definitely be in my top 10. In 2020, he finished with a 277 batting average, 937 OPS, 157 OPS plus. By the way, 100 is the league average for OPS plus. He was fourth in MVP and won a Silver Slugger. He drew 27 walks on just 61 strikeouts, had 17 home runs and 45 RBIs in 59 games. Tatis is going to bring baseball back to being very popular along with guys like Acuna and Soto. Okay, so I did end up putting Garrett Cole above of a guy like Fernando Tatis and others, but you have to look at what he did in Houston and what he's done with New York so far. Since leaving Pittsburgh, he has absolutely dominated Major League Baseball. He's had a 46-14 win-loss, which is a 767 win-loss percentage, and put it into better context. He has a 2.61 ERA, just let up 362 hits in 83 games, and has an ERA plus of 166, a 2.68 FIP, and a .944 WHIP. Probably should have won the Cy Young in 2019, finished fourth in 2020, and actually had a really good season with Pittsburgh in 2015. The newly acquired Anthony Rendon comes in for me at number 11. Anthony Rendon has been in the MVP race 5 times now, although he's only been a one-time All-Star. He's also had 2 Silver Slugger awards. He's led the league in RBIs, doubles twice, and runs. He can bat you .290 with a .371 on-base percentage, .490 slugging, which adds up to an .861 OPS, and that also is a .127 OPS plus. His defense isn't great, but that bat is so unbelievably good, and it's one of the main reasons that the Nationals won the World Series and why he got paid this offseason. Kicking off the top 10, we've got Francisco Lindor now of the New York Mets. Francisco Lindor is a 4-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove, 2-time Silver Slugger, and has actually won a Platinum Glove in his career. He was absolutely amazing with Cleveland, has gotten a lot of at-bats there just because he's always staying on the field, never really missed a lot of time. 129 runs in 2018 led the league. He's been in the MVP race almost every year of his career and was second in Rookie of the Year. He can bat you .282 with .344 on-base percentage, .480 slugging, and an .823 OPS, or .115 OPS plus, along with about 28 homers, 84 RBIs, just an absolute beast. Our first single-digit number belongs to Freddy Freeman. He was the well-deserving NL MVP last year. He's won a Gold Glove, a 2-time Silver Slugger, and is a 4-time All-Star at this point. He can give you a .293 batting average, .889 OPS, .137 OPS plus, 28 homers, 99 RBIs, and 39 doubles in one season. He popped off in 2020, batting .341 with a 1.102 OPS. He had 13 homers, 53 RBIs, 23 doubles, 51 runs, and 73 hits. Up next, we have the 5-time All-Star, defensive alien, Nolan Arenado. Arenado has led the league twice in RBIs. He's been up there in home runs. He's been up there in doubles, and he doesn't really miss a lot of time. He's also been up there in total bases. He can bat you .292 with a .349 OPP and a .542 slugging. I mentioned his defense earlier, but I had to say it again. Nolan Arenado's defense is absolutely unbelievable. He's one of the best defensive third basemen we may have ever seen. 8 gold and 4 platinum gloves says it all. What is there to say about Jacob deGrom that hasn't already been said? A 2-time, maybe should have been 3 times Cy Young Award winner. ERA leader in 2018, 2-time strikeout leader, not to mention his 3 All-Star games, which isn't amazing again. But he has been absolutely dominant the past few years. He's absolutely the best pitcher in baseball, and there's nobody else close. He's also been a top MVP candidate as a pitcher and is nearly unhittable. I mean, he throws heat and has great breaking stuff. It's just unbelievable. I feel like Ronald Acuna Jr. does something absolutely historic every night. He's already an All-Star, he's a 2-time Silver Slugger, and won the Rookie of the Year. The fact that this is only his 4th year in the league is just kind of ridiculous. He's been in the MVP race all 3 years already and will definitely be this year. He's leading the league in slugging so far in 2021. In 2019, he led the league in runs and stolen bases, and he also hit 41 home runs and 101 RBIs. And so that's kind of crazy. Not to mention his spectacular defense out in the outfield. Wherever you want to throw him, he'll be great. For some reason, ever since Cody Ballinger has entered the league, I have fallen in love with this guy. Maybe it's because he doesn't really miss time, except for this year. He's only played 4 games. But in 2018, he actually played 162. He can bat you 273 with a 909 OPS. He can get you 39 home runs, 102 RBIs. He's one of the most athletic players out there in the outfield, has a cannon of an arm. He also won the MVP in 2018. He's been slow in 2020 and 2021, but he's still a beast. He was one of the main reasons the Dodgers won the World Series. You could call Christian Yelich an enemy of Cody Ballinger, but it makes sense why they're right here. They're both beasts, and Christian Yelich was also in the MVP running both in 2018 and 2019. In 2018 and 2019, he was the batting champion. 2019, he led in on base percentage. 2018 and 2019 in slugging and OPS plus, and in 2018, he led in total bases. That is a whole lot of things to lead in. He was the 2018 MVP and was second in 2019. Finally, to the top three. At number 3, we've got the reincarnation of Ted Williams, Juan Soto. Juan Soto is purely the best hitter in baseball. The only reason the two guys ahead of him are ahead of him is because they're better in the field, they're probably faster, and they've been doing it longer. He can bat you in the high 200s, even 300s. He can get you 413 on base percentage, 545 slugging, and somewhere around a 1,000 OPS. He also led the league in all of those categories in 2020. He is just simply an amazing hitter. The only choice at number 2 is Mookie Betts. He can bat you 299, we'll round up to 300, a 373 on base, a 519 slugging, an 891 OPS, which is all above average, way above average. And by the way, those are his 162 game averages. He can get you 26 stolen bases, 30 homers, 100 RBIs, about 5 triples, and 46 doubles, which is amazing. Not to mention, he's a freak athlete, and his defense is maybe the best in baseball. Like I said, the only choice at number 2. And the number 1 player in baseball is Mike Trout. No explanation needed. That wraps up my top 50. This took a long time to make, and I put a lot of effort into it. I wanted this to come out a lot earlier in the season, but this is when it's happening, and remember, this is based on the 2020 season, or I guess coming after the 2020 season, going into 2021. Let me know what you thought down below. Thanks for watching.